Okay, good afternoon, all of you. Firstly, I introduce myself. I am Professor S.S. Patil, working as the Assistant Professor in Civil Engineering Department. I am having total 7 years experience in teaching. So, I am teaching you Introduction to Solid Mechanics subject. Okay, so now we will move towards our actual syllabus. Okay, now our subject code. Subject code is CV216. Please remember that our subject code is CV216 and the name of our subject is Introduction to Solid Mechanics. And the abbreviation of this subject is ISM. That is short form of this subject is ISM and full name is Introduction to Solid Mechanics. Now this is for part 1 and semester 3rd and subject code is CV216. Okay. Now we will see what is exact teaching scheme and examination scheme for this subject. Okay. So our subject name is Introduction to Solid Mechanics and short form or abbreviation is ISM. Now we will discuss what is teaching scheme and what is examination. Okay. One question to all of you. All of you are comfortable with complete English?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. If you have any doubt, you ask me in Marathi. I will explain in Marathi. If you have not understand, then I will explain in Marathi. Otherwise, we will continue in English. Okay. So for this subject, teaching scheme. Okay. So for this subject, we have 3 lectures per week and 1 tutorial hour per week. So 4 hours per week. Then examination scheme. So for this subject, ISE and ESE. So ISE means intermediate semester exam. Okay. We will conduct 2 or 3 intermediate semester exams. Okay. So these intermediate semester exams, ISE marks depend on your ISE 1, ISE 2 and ISE 3 or ISE 1 and 2. We will take average of both ISEs and convert into 30 marks. We will conduct ISE 1 for 30 marks, ISE 2 for 30 marks, and after that, finally, we will convert in 30 marks. Okay, so ISE is first and then ESE. ESE means end semester exam. This ESE conduct by university, end semester exam. And this ESE having weightage 70 marks. So, in that way, our subject has weightage 100 marks. Got it? ISE means intermediate semester exam having 30 marks. For this semester, for this subject, you have two ISEs, ISE 1 and ISE 2. And after that, we will take average of these 2 ISEs and we will give marks of 30. And ESE means end semester exam. This exam will be conducted through university. So this is our teaching scheme and examination scheme. After that, next we will see course objective. Next is course objective. Next is our course objectives. So objective means what we have to learn before starting any point. ऑब्जेक्टिव्ह म्हणजे काय असणार आहेत आपले की आपण एखादं काम सुरू करण्यापूर्वी त्याच्यात आपल्याला काय शिकायचंय किंवा काय काम करायचंय हे म्हणजे काय असेल आपले ऑब्जेक्टिव्ह. सो when we are going to start work, before starting we consider some points. This is called as objectives. Okay, म्हणजे एखादं काम चालू करण्यापूर्वी त्याच्यात आपल्याला काय पॉइंट्स बघणार आहे किंवा आपलं फोकस कशावरती असलं पाहिजे ते म्हणजे काय असतील ऑब्जेक्टिव्ह. सो इन दॅट फर्स्ट ऑब्जेक्टिव्ह, okay, in that first objective is to comprehend about of various elastic constants and their relationships, to evaluate stresses and strains in the material. Okay, so this is our first objective. So in that first objective we have to study various elastic constants. Okay, you have studied engineering mechanics subject in your first year. Okay, so in that you have studied it, what is meant by force, after that how to calculate reactions, then maybe friction, etc. Okay, now we have to study Hooke's law, then elastic constants. Elastic constants means Young's modulus, modulus of rigidity or bulk modulus and their relationships. So how to calculate stresses and strains by using these elastic constants. That point we have to study in this subject. This is our first objective. म्हणजे आपल्याला फर्स्ट ऑब्जेक्टिव्ह मध्ये काय शिकायचं आहे की व्हॅरियस इलास्टिक कॉन्स्टंट्स आहेत. देर आर 3 इलास्टिक कॉन्स्टंट्स, Young's modulus, bulk modulus and shear modulus. So by using these 3 elastic constants, how to find out stresses and strains and what is the relation between these 3 elastic constants? This is our first objective. Then we have to focus second objective. Okay, we have to focus second objective, and second objective is to impart knowledge of the behavior of structural members under various types of external loadings and calculations of their strength in tension, compression, shear, bending, and torsions. So, in the second objective, we have to study how to find out stresses and strains, or how to find out external loadings under tension, compression, shear, and bending. Okay. So here we will consider various structural members. Suppose beams, columns. Okay, likewise. Then third objective, to educate the students about principal planes and principal stresses and strains. Then due to combination of axial forces, bending moments and shear only. Now, this third objective is related to principal plane or principal stresses. So in that, we have to find out principal stresses or principal strains due to axial forces. Means, suppose if I will draw figure here, is it? Okay, suppose this is our member. Okay, this is our suppose member. And on that, I am going to apply load. So due to this axial load, how to generate principal stresses and strains or combination of axial forces? Maybe 2 types of loadings are applied or 1 type of loading is applied. So we have to find out principal planes, principal stresses and principal strains. So this is our third objective. After that, next fourth objective is to analyze statically determinate beams to calculate shear force and bending moment under different loading conditions. Okay. In your first year syllabus, that is in your engineering mechanics syllabus, you have studied it, how to calculate suppose this is a beam. Okay, on that you are going to apply load. Suppose this is 10 kilonewton load and this is A support, this is B support. Already you have studied it, how to calculate reaction at A support and reaction at B support. But now we have to study how to find out bending moment or shear effect at here. That means you have studied it, how to find out reactions at support. But now we have to calculate at intermediate points. So this is called as shear force and bending moment under different loading conditions. That is, maybe there are various types of loadings. Okay, already you have studied it. How many types of loadings are there? Anyone please unmute and tell me. Which types of loadings we are going to apply on structure? Okay, I will draw here figure. You tell me which type of loading is there.
Uniform load and uniform varying load.
Point
Yes.
load,
I have drawn.
UDL, point load,
I have taken here 3 figures. Now you tell me. First figure is which type of load is there?
point load,
Point load. So this is called as point load. And in second figure,
UDL, UDL,
UDL. UDL means uniformly distributed load throughout span. Suppose this is our span L, uniformly distributed. So this is called as UDL. And third one is
UVL,
UVL. And the full form of this UVL is
uniformly
Uniform.
varying load.
Okay, good. Uniformly varying load. Okay, now see here in point number 2 and point number 3, there is difference. So in point number 2, load is uniformly distributed. But in point number 2, the load is uniformly vary. Suppose here 5 kilonewton, here 10, and here 15, and here 20, and here 0. But in second figure, you have to observe here 5 kilonewton. At this location, how much load is applied here? किती असणार आहे इथे लोड किती ऍक्ट होईल हा 5
सेम असणार सगळे
good uniformly distributed means you have to check at any point, so at that point load is same, so this is called as uniformly distributed. And uniformly varying means this load varies point to point. Okay, so 3 types of loadings: point load, uniformly distributed load, and uniformly varying load. So we have to find out shear force and bending moment. We have to find out shear force and bending moments under different loading conditions. So how many loading conditions are there? 3 conditions. First is point load, second is uniformly distributed load, and uniformly varying load. But we have to find out for statically determinate structures. Statically determinate structure. There are 2 types of structures: statically determinate structure and statically indeterminate structure. So we will see for only statically determinate structure. Okay, so I will tell what is meant by statically determinate structure. Okay, now here, so this is simply supported beam AB, and on that load, 1 point load is on that beam, 1 point load is applied. Here 1 reaction is generated, here 1 reaction is generated, and due to this, so total reactions are 3 and unknown equations. That is, we are going to find out summation fx which is equal to 0, summation fy which is equal to 0, and summation movement at any point which is equal to 0. Means you have to take addition of all horizontal forces which is equal to 0. This is our first condition. Second condition, you have to take addition of all vertical forces on that member. That is condition second. And last is you have to take movement at any point. Suppose you have to take movement at A point, then consider from this B. So 3 conditions. So unknown equations are 3 and reactions are also 3. So if number of unknown reactions which is equal to number of unknown reactions, then this is called as statically determinate beam. Okay, and we have to study only statically determinate beam. We will study statically indeterminate beam in second semester in structural analysis subject. So please remember, in fourth objective, we have to study only statically determinate beams. And for that beams, we have to find out shear force and bending moments. Already you have find out reactions. Okay, reactions at support in engineering mechanics. So reaction at A, RA which is equal to how much and RB which is equal to how much? Anyone please guess? Suppose this is 2 meter and this is 2 meter.
RA 20 kilonewton.
20 5 kilonewton. Good. So this is symmetric beam. Okay, and centrally point load is applied. Total load is 10 kilonewton. So out of that, half load carry A point and half load carry B point. So without calculation, we will calculate RA which is equal to 5 kilonewton and RB which is equal to 5 kilonewton. Already you have studied it, but now we have to find out various reactions at intermediate portions. At intermediate portions. So at this point, how much movement is there? We have to find out, or how much shear force. So this is called as shear force and bending moment by using different loading conditions. So our fourth objective is this. Then next, fifth, to impart knowledge of drawing influence line diagrams for shear force, bending moment on a girder due to rolling loads. Now, first we will see what is meant by rolling loads. Okay, in practically, where it is possible, rolling loads are applied. In practically, rolling loads means moving loads. Moving loads. So where it is possible, practically कुठे possible आहे वो moving loads कुठे असू शकतात? सपोज हा आपला ब्रिज कन्स्ट्रक्ट केलेला आहे, रिव्हर वरती ब्रिज कन्स्ट्रक्ट केलेला आहे. ओके, आणि व्हेकल मूव्ह होत आहेत, व्हेकल मूव्ह होत आहेत, तर हा लोड मुव्हिंग लोड असेल का कॉन्स्टंट लोड असेल? येस प्लीज, एनीवन?
Moving load.
Moving loads. So we have to study influence line diagrams for rolling loads or moving loads, and it is practically possible at or on bridges. Okay, so here vehicles are moved, so load vary from point to point. Load moves from point to point, and we have to find out various points loading diagram. So this is called as influence line diagram. Okay, it may be due to shear force, may be due to bending moment. We have to find out. Okay, these are the 5 course objectives of our subject. Okay, now we will see course outcomes. Outcomes. So outcome means after completion of work, which parameters you have studied it, this is called as outcomes. So basic difference between objective and outcomes. Objective deals before starting of work and outcomes deals after starting of, after completion of work. Outcomes आपल्याला कधी मिळणार आहेत? एखादं वर्क कंप्लीट झाल्यानंतर. म्हणजे आपला सब्जेक्ट पूर्ण शिकून झाल्यानंतर आपल्याला काय नॉलेज मिळालं ते म्हणजे काय असतील आपले कोर्स आउटकम्स. सो इन दॅट फर्स्ट आउटकम इज एम्प्लॉय द नॉलेज ऑफ employ the knowledge of structural mechanics to depict the behavior of structure. So as per our first objective, we have to learn what is the relation between elastic constants and how to find out stresses and strains by using elastic constants. So by using this, we got this structural mechanics to depict behavior of structure. Means structure is in tension, compression, shear or bending, that much. Okay. After that, second outcome. Second is identify principal planes and find principal stresses. Okay. So suppose one beam is given. From that, we have to find out what is we are able to find out where principal plane is present, and on that plane we have to calculate principal stresses. That much knowledge you have to got. Okay. After that, third outcome. Draw shear force diagrams and bending moment diagrams of statically determinate beams. After completion of this subject, student will be able to draw shear force diagram and bending moment diagram. So, how to draw shear force diagram and how to draw bending moment diagram, we will see in our unit number 5th. Sorry, unit number 5th. Okay. So finally, you will get knowledge about how to draw bending moment diagram and shear force diagram. Then next, fourth outcome is evaluate bending and shear stresses in beams. So after learning this subject, student will be able to calculate bending stresses and shear stresses in beam. Okay, this is our fourth outcome. And fifth outcome is analyze the behavior of structure under moving loads using influence line diagrams. Means by using this influence line diagram, student will be able to analyze the behavior of structure. These course outcomes fulfill after completion of our syllabus. And course objective means course objectives are before starting of our subject. Okay. Now we will move towards our actual syllabus. Okay. So already you know that if you are learning any subject, so in that subject there are two sections, section 1 and section 2. So for this subject, two sections are there. In section 1 there are 4 units. Okay, in section 1 there are 4 units, and in section 2 there are 4 units. So we have to study total 8 units in 2 sections. Okay. So section 1. In section 1, unit 1. Okay. In section 1, unit 1 is introduction of in our subject, introductory part. So in that first point, scope of the subject means what is our scope, why this subject is included in the syllabus. Okay. After that, second point is behavior of engineering materials under axial loading. So what is the behavior of material under axial loading? Okay. See, then next, simple stresses and strains. After that, we have to learn what is meant by stress, what is meant by strains, types of stresses, types of strains. Okay. The next point is Hooke's law. Already you have studied Hooke's law. Anyone please unmute and tell me Hooke's law? Anyone?
Hello, ma'am.
Yes. Yes, please.
Ohm's law सांगायचंय का?
Hooke's law, Hooke's law. Okay, I will explain. You have studied a stress strain curve in engineering mechanics. Stress strain curve you have studied it.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. In that you have studied Hooke's law. Hooke's law states that within elastic limit, stress is directly proportional to strain. This is called as Hooke's law. We will see in detail actual point-to-point syllabus. Okay. After that, next point is stress-strain relationships. Next point is stress-strain relations for ductile and brittle material. So we have to learn here stress-strain curves for ductile and brittle material. Okay. Ductile material. Now, anyone please give me one example of ductile material? Anyone able to give an example of ductile material? Which material is ductile material and which material is brittle material? I will give choices, rubber and glass. So which material is ductile and which material is brittle?
Glass is brittle.
Glass is brittle and rubber is ductile. So ductile means ability to drawn into thin wires without failure. म्हणजे बघा रबर आपण काय केलं ओढलं तर ते काय केलं जातं ताणलं जातं आणि त्याला जर सोडलं तर ते परत त्याचा ओरिजिनल शेप रिगेन करतं. पण जर आपण ग्लास आहे त्याला जर आपण वरतून खाली टाकलं तर ते काय होतो ते लगेच त्याचे पीसेस ब्रोकन होतात. म्हणजे ग्लास इज अ brittle material whereas a rubber is a ductile material. Okay, so we have to study stress strain relations for ductile and brittle material. After that, elastic constants. There are 3 elastic constants, so we have to learn which these 3 elastic constants and relation between these elastic constants. After that, we have to learn next point is working stress. Then factor of safety, stresses and strain in 3 dimensions. That is linear, lateral, shear and volumetric. So for 3-dimensional, I will draw here. For suppose this is our 3-dimensional cube. And for that, we have to find out lateral, linear, and shear and volumetric stresses for this 3-dimensional plane. Okay. After that, normal and shear stresses. Okay. Next point is normal and shear stresses. Already you have studied it, but we will discuss in detail. So what is meant by normal stress and what is meant by shear stress. Then next is complementary shear stress. Then relation between elastic constants. Okay. Here we will see how many constants are there, and now then we have to learn what is the relation between elastic constants. After that, next point is assumption in elastic analysis. Assumptions in elastic analysis. Then Saint Venant's principle, and last is composite sections under axial loading, compound bars. Okay, so this is our introductory chapter, but from this chapter we will get too much basic knowledge, and this basic knowledge is required lifelong or lifetime. As a civil engineer, you must know all these points. So this is very basic and most important chapter for our subject. Okay. Then we will move towards second chapter. So okay, second unit. So second unit is principal stresses and strains for 2D planes or 2D problems. This is our second unit. So in that unit, first point is normal and shear stresses on inclined plane. So from this unit, we have to find out principal plane. Okay, what is mean by principal plane? How to find out principal stresses? How to find out principal strains? Okay, or principal stresses in beam and stress trajectories. This is our second unit. Then unit number 3. Combined bending, torsion and thrust. So in unit number 3, we have to learn combined bending, torsion and thrust. So this unit number 2, 3 and 4 are independent chapters. If you clear this unit number 2 or you got knowledge about unit number 2, then you will be able to understand unit number 3. ओके बघा हे युनिट नंबर 2, 3 आणि 4 हे डिपेंडंट आहेत. युनिट 2 जर लक्षात आलं तर 3 समजायला आपल्याला काहीच वेळ लागणार नाहीये आणि 3 लक्षात आलं तर 4 समजायला काहीच वेळ लागणार. तसंच जर आपण बघितलं तर फर्स्ट चॅप्टर हा इंडिपेंडेंट होता, हा कुठल्याही पॉइंट वरती डिपेंडंट नाहीये. बट युनिट नंबर 2, 3 अँड 4 दीज युनिट्स आर डिपेंडंट युनिट. एखाद्याला वाटले की बाबा मी युनिट नंबर 2 चे लेक्चर करणार नाही आणि मला युनिट नंबर 3 चेच लेक्चर करायचे. At that time you are not able to understand this unit. So I am requesting all, please attend lectures continuously without wasting your time or without any lecture missing. So you will be able to understand easily subject. Okay. Then unit number 3. In unit number 3, we have to find out bending, torsion and thrust. Okay, torsion and thrust. So we have to learn what is meant by torsion, what is meant by thrust. Of that, principal stresses. Already we have studied it in unit number 2. So this unit number 3 is depend on this unit 2, principal stresses. After that, equivalent torque and equivalent movement for solid circular shaft. So we have to find out equivalent torque and equivalent movement for solid circular shaft. For circular shaft, we have to find out torque and movement. This is our unit number 3. And last, unit number 4. Last, unit number 4. Unit number 4 is theories of elastic failures. Means this is totally theoretical unit. In that, we have to study which theories are present for elastic failures. So in that, first is maximum principal stress theory, then maximum principal strain theory, maximum shear stress theory, and total strain energy and distortion energy. That means which theories are present for this elastic failure. So we have to study in unit number 4. So this is our, in that way, our section 1 is completed. So in section 1, there are 4 units. In that, first unit is introductory unit, but this is most important. For this subject as well as a civil engineer, you must know all these basic concepts. Okay. Unit second is related to principal stress, principal plane, and principal strain. Okay. After that, unit number 3 is depend on unit number 2, that is combined bending, torsion, and thrust. So in that, we have to find out bending, torsion, and thrust. Also, we have to find out equivalent torque and movement for solid circular shaft. And unit number 4 is theories of elastic failures. So in that, 4 theories are given. We will discuss in detail in our syllabus. Okay. One announcement to all students. Our meeting is going to end. If meeting is ended, please rejoin by using same link. Okay. Now we will discuss section second. Okay, section second. This is our section second. Now in section second, there are also 4 units. Okay, unit number 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now we will discuss one by one. So unit number 5. Unit number 5 is analysis of